What's up guys, this is English Grammar Explained, and this time I will try to do this exercise 12 from roundup 5. That's all the same, passive voice as usual. Turn the following into the passive in two ways. That's very important. What do they mean by this in two ways? In two ways equals with two objects. So my sentence has to have at least two objects. So what do we have in number 1? They gave him a watch when he retired. So here, as usual, I have subject, they, then I have the main verb, all the same as usual, and then I have object number 1, and then object number 2, and then I have all this something. Okay, and here the first one, he was given. Of course it is written here, but even for me it's difficult to read, so I presume you cannot see anything. So he was given, then I place a watch, and then all this when he retired. It doesn't change at all. So what changed? I have this object number 1, and here it becomes my subject. Of course we cannot use they in this sentence, because that's not important, and we basically don't know who exactly gave him that watch. And then I have my main verb in passive voice, and here I have my object number 2 without any changes. Okay, what about the next sentence? A watch, here object number 2 becomes subject, and then I just rewrite everything that was in sentence number 1. Was given to him when he retired. Here we have some trick. As you see, this 2 appeared before him. Why? Because this is so-called indirect object. That's very interesting topic. If I use indirect object, I can place it just after my main verb, just like here, without any prepositions. But in passive voice, in passive structure, I have to place preposition before this indirect object in order to connect this thing with this thing. How do I know that my object is direct or indirect? Well, it's easy to check, because if you throw away or omit your object from your sentence doesn't change the meaning. I can omit him, they gave a watch. I can omit everything connected with him from this sentence, and that will look like they gave a watch. Of course I don't know whom and when, and well, my sentence is not so good, but it can exist. However, if I throw away a watch, my sentence cannot exist. They gave him, then something something, I don't know what exactly they gave him, and then when he retired. So my sentence doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense without my object, this object is direct, so I don't place any prepositions before it. Okay, enough with that. Number 2, they have offered him the job. And here I again have this they, that's my subject, and then I have this present perfect, main verb here, and here I have object number 1, and this is object number 2. So firstly, I make sentence with object number 1. He has been offered the job. And that's it. So the job doesn't change, and my main verb turned into passive here, like this. Okay, what about the job? Okay, the job here is direct object, and here is indirect, just like in sentence number 1. So the job has been offered to him. And here we have indirect object with this preposition. And here, of course, I have main verb, without any changes, by the way. Okay, number 3. She will send you a fax. Same thing here. She, the subject, then I have the main verb in simple future, then I have this indirect object, and then I have direct object here. Okay, so you will be sent a fax by her. Here I place agent because, well, I consider its importance. Okay, number 2 with my direct object. A fax will be sent to you by her. And that's it. So what we have here, we have this indirect object here and direct object here, a fax. And my subject becomes an agent here and here, of course. What about the second sentence? Here I have my indirect object with preposition, of course, to connect it to my main verb. And here my direct object becomes the subject. So, number 4. He's going to show me a new technique. All the same again. Here the subject is going, is my main verb, and here I have infinitive. It's just the part of my main verb. And then I have this direct object and this tiny indirect one. So, with indirect, because I need nominative case in my subject, so me turns into I am going, and here magic happens, to be shown. So basically, my infinitive turns into passive. But this thing is going, it doesn't change at all. Of course, we change this thing, this verb, but it all depends on the subject. It isn't influenced by passive. My real passive is here, in my infinitive. Why? Because is going here, it's, plays the role of kind of modal verb. It's a kind of modal verb here. Okay, what about a new technique? A new technique is here. I'm going to be shown a new technique. Easy. Without any changes. And I can place the agent by him. Like this. And of course, the second sentence, a new technique, is going to be shown to me by him. So here we have only this thing changed because of new technique. And a new technique is basically it, and it is used with is, not with am. And here I have my indirect object with preposition to connect it to the main verb. And then I have the agent here and here. So the next one, number 5. Someone gave her a book. So here she was given a book. And here a book was given to her. The same thing as in number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, number 6. They give the students extra lessons. The students are given extra lessons. And here extra lessons are given to the students. Nothing fancy. Number 7. They have shown her the plans for the house. She has been shown the plans for the house. And here the plans for the house have been shown to her. Number 8. They should have given you a receipt. So here you should have been given a receipt. And what about the receipt? Okay, a receipt should have been given to you. Well, I purposely haven't shown anything in number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, one reason is because they are just like number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all the same technique. And second reason, well, you can guess by yourself. What is the agent? What is the subject, what is the main verb, and what is the first object, second object, direct object, indirect object, and whatever. And that's all for now. Feel free to subscribe, to like or dislike, to share on whatever. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.